Okay, in 8.2 and 8.3, we're going to just compare the cost of renting versus owning a home. So the cost of owning, so you have to purchase a home, and this includes a cash down payment. So you have to have money up front, and a mortgage loan, which is paid with interest. Okay, so you have to pay interest on it, and then you have to pay this maybe once a month, every 2 weeks, whatever your payment period is. So it's like ongoing. Owners must pay property tax. Okay, so property tax, whereas renting you don't have to pay this. And this is a percentage of the estimated value of your home. Most owners buy home insurance to protect their home and its contents, home insurance. If you own a condo, there's usually a monthly fee associated with it. It's called condo fees, and it just covers operating and maintenance, administrative costs, and improvement costs to the entire, like, the condo building or the condo corp as a whole. And owners pay for all utilities, which means gas, heat, electricity, maintenance, repairs, and services they use. So maintenance could be a furnace. Repairs on maybe like your roof. Okay. Now, cost of renting. Colors. A tenant uses a property owned by a landlord and pays rent. So a tenant is just using the land. Okay. Utilities and services such as heat, water, electricity, and parking. These may or may not be included in the rent. So sometimes you have to pay these out of pocket, and then sometimes you just pay maybe like a little bit more for like the rent portion, but then everything's included. Okay, the landlord pays for repairs because it's not your property, it's their property. Okay, so you don't have to think about it. And the tenant usually pays their own phone, cable, and internet. Those are not usually part of utilities. Okay, and in regards to insurance, a tenant may wish to buy tenant insurance to protect his or her belongings. The landlord is not responsible for that. Okay, so we're going to cover fixed costs versus variable. Sorry, fixed cost and then a variable cost. Change that. Okay, fixed cost is an expense where the same amount is charged. Okay, and at regular intervals. Okay, and a variable cost is an expense where the cost changes and may not follow a regular schedule. Okay, so we're going to brainstorm costs associated with owning and renting a home. And then we're just going to kind of draw this as a chart. Okay, fixed cost, internet comes in every month, $80. Okay, cable, phone. Variable costs, stuff that changes is water usage. A lot more in the summer when you have to water your lawn. Electricity, those usually come on the same bill. Gas, you have to heat your house in the winter, but you don't have to heat it in the summer. Variable cost would be like if you need a repair for your furnace or your roof, or if you have a lawn maintenance company. Okay, fixed cost could be if you purchase insurance and either rent or your mortgage payment. And then condo fees don't change. Maybe every year they go up like once, but then like it's the same payment for the rest of the year. Okay, so those are just some examples. Example 2, calculating annual expenses. So determine how much each expense will cost for 1 year. So monthly rent of $12.75. So a lot of times rent is paid monthly. So if there are 12 months in a year, we're just going to multiply $12.75 by 12. So this would be $15,300, which is a lot to give a landlord. Okay, biweekly mortgage payments of $856. So biweekly, that's very similar to how a lot of us get paid. It's 26 times a year. So what we're going to do is we're just going to multiply 856.21 times 26. Okay, so the mortgage payments are going to add up to 22,261.46. Okay, and semi-annual home insurance payments. So a lot of times house insurance is paid just twice a year. So this is 2 times a year. 658.42 times 2. And this is pretty like bang on. House insurance is about $100 a month. Okay, so that's an expense of $1,316.84 per year. Okay, example 3, comparing rental properties. So Sarah will be moving to London to attend Fanshawe College. She has 2 options for living in London. She can either rent an apartment or live in residence. Okay. So if she rents an apartment, it's a 1-bedroom apartment within walking distance from the college. The rent is $975 monthly, and this includes all of her heat, electricity, water, and parking. So it's all there for one price. She has to sign a 1-year lease, so it's locked in 1 year, which is 12 months. Okay, or she can live in residence. So this is the college residence. It's on campus, so there's no walk to and from the building. It's $7,200. You live there for the 8 months, September to April, and this includes utilities. And built into this fee, there's a meal card. So if you rent an apartment, you have to go and get your own food and cook it yourself. There's an $1,800 meal card, which means that you can eat on campus. Basically, it's like at the restaurants, and it's restaurant prices. Okay, you share a room and washroom with another student. So this is a shared room. The room includes a bed, desk, shelves, small fridge, microwave, cable, service, but you have to bring your own TV and local telephone. So this is just like, this is called furnished. Like it includes anything that you have to use basically except for your comforter and your TV. And then there's a shared kitchen available. So a lot of times when you go to college, what happens is you eat all this fast food. If you ever hear of Freshman 15, it's because a lot of people live in residence and have to eat. Like when I was in college, it was Mr. Sub, Harvey's, Pizza, and there was just like a wrap place to get a wrap, but it was all like fast food stuff. So not the healthiest choices and a lot of overeating there. And it's quite expensive. There is a shared kitchen sometimes, but sometimes there's not. So what is the annual rent for the apartment? So annual rent would be $975 times 12. And I put all these questions on the same page. 11,700. Okay, is it more or less expensive? Well, this is for sure, this is more than the residence, right? So instead of paying 11,700, if she lived in residence, it'd be 7,200. So it's like $4,500 difference, and you're getting a meal card. Okay, what additional expenses might Sarah have in setting up the apartment that she would not have for the residence? Well, if you take a look at the apartment and what's included, she does not have, it's not furnished. So she would need a bed. So she would like have to pay for a U-Haul, right? To get her bed there. Bed, desk. It has a fridge. Microwaves are very often not included. She would have to set up her own cable or internet if she wants that, and television if she wants that. Okay, she'd have to bring her own pots and pans too. Okay, what if any benefits might there be to living in the apartment? Okay, so it's private. You can have people over whenever you want. You can live there all year round. So if you get a job or maybe you meet friends or you want to take a summer course, live all year round. Eat the food you want. You don't have to like be forced into eating the fast food. Okay? And then guys, go ahead and reflect which option would you recommend and then just justify your answer. I personally would want the apartment at this stage of my life, but I think that living on residence is good, especially if you're in first year because you get to meet a lot of people. But I personally now at this age, obviously I choose an apartment. But you guys choose. What one you'd like better. Example 4, total monthly housing costs. Determine the total monthly housing costs for the following expenses. Okay, so I'm going to do some of the work on the left-hand side, and then I'm going to total it on the right. So if we have a bi-weekly mortgage payment of $883, I'm going to multiply that by bi-weekly is 26 times a year. Okay, I get 22,958. And then I'm going to divide that by 12. So turn into annual and then divide it by 12. I'm going to just put it over here. 1913. I'm going to round it. 1913. Okay. And then there's change. Annual property taxes. So this is annual. So property tax, I'm going to get 3320, and I'm just going to simply divide that by 12. I'm going to round to 277. Okay. Quarterly water bill. So quarterly would be 4 times a year. So if we wanted the monthly, this is 3 months. So water would be 95 divided by 3. I get around 32. Okay, monthly house insurance, 115. I'm just going to round that, 115. Gas, hydro, equally billing. Again, this is monthly, so you don't have to convert it, 174. Then cable and internet, 168. And then you want to just add them. 32, 115, 174, 168. Okay, so the monthly bill is $26.79. That would be the monthly housing. This is like the costs of having a house.